Yeah, and if you don't know, now you know. If you're new, welcome. This is Poppy Lynn and your co-host.
Miss 15.
You're we back at it again with another episode. Today we're gonna be talking about food dyes and intermittent fasting. Uh yeah, I'm excited for this one. Been trying to talk about this for a hot minute now.
She's been trying to get y'all on this for a minute.
It literally.
Like a minute. Wasn't sure if it's gonna be episode 1
or episode 12.
You never know.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've had a lot of fun in terms of like how we first started. We're never trying to shift focus because this is what the main intention is with high consciousness, right? But we had a little fun, and now we're back to serious business. You heard? Stand on business all day.
All day.
Every day. But now we'll start with the quote of the day. Just give me a second. I'm trying to get back to my screen. Yeah. So, quote of the day is: a society that keeps cure as a secret so they can continue to sell medication for huge profits is not a real society, but a huge mental asylum. Dr.Sebi. If you do not know who Dr.Sebi is, please take like an hour, 15 minutes, 30 out of your day to research this man, and you will come across some good gems. A lot. A variety. Definitely a variety.
You'll definitely learn a lot about health industry, food industry. Should you trust them?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, this man he had a lawsuit.
Yeah, they tried to bring this man down. I forgot where the lawsuit, and I literally just watched his documentary the other day.
I can't remember where it is either, or when it was, but I know it was at least within the last 15-20 years.
Yeah, and it was because he was essentially he was providing healing treatments to patients that had like a lot of different diseases, and mainly it started with him having to take those cases to court because he needed to prove that they don't just call me this for a reason. But the documentary is still up. I'm gonna share a piece of it later on. Let me see something real quick.
I can't remember the name of it. Where'd you watch it?
I found it on YouTube. It's not like it's like 43 minutes, but it's a good enough documentary. Like, it gives you a lot of insight as to what happened. His daughter is in it. He had 3 wives. Well, he had 1 wife and multiple flings after that. But one of them was mainly like the one that started with him, and her and her son spoke a lot about the ups, the downs that he went through, and even just at the end they brought it back to like when he actually got locked up, because he got locked up. I forgot why he got locked up, but he got locked up, and that was, and he kept stating like, somebody's coming after me, like I feel it, type of vibe. And the reason why he
I said that's why he got locked up.
Yeah, because I can't remember, but they always try to give you like a reason as to why something happened. Let me see something here. Yeah, where the hell is? I think it's at the end of.
Bear with us, guys. We do it live.
Huh?
I said we do it live.
But yeah, like he died because of his own home. He didn't want to eat their food. He did not want to eat the jail food, and he was just like, he started fasting because he had diabetes. He had a lot of different diseases, and he also was in a space that he didn't want to let go of food and shit. And then he started the fasting journey. He started looking into herbs and all that good stuff. And he's from Honduras. But in the last piece of the documentary, it states that his death is still under investigation because of how it happened. But it also was part of his own fault for not wanting to eat. But I mean, hey, coming from someone that stopped, like that knows as much as he does, at that point, if I gotta go out like that, I'd rather go out like that than anything else. But that shit must hurt, because I know I've fasted for like just 3 days, and it's just been just juicing and not really like food. And if you don't drink water, your stomach starts cramping up. And when it starts cramping up, what helps it is drinking water, because it's trying to, like, at that point, eat itself. And it's not used to what you're doing, so but it's just what the body does. And that's why a lot of doctors and a lot of different people that have done fasting or look into fasting, they talk about, at some point you need to drink water. It doesn't need to be right away. Some people can really just go without it for multiple days, but it's better off, because but that's like after you're used to it. If your body's not used to it, you need to drink water at some point. It's like a trick
only
to
last like 3 days, honestly.
Yeah. For the average human being, it's literally 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone that's been doing it for a while, I feel like I was having this conversation with my friend, because we were talking about like intermittent fasting and just fasting, and she's Muslim, and she was telling me, well, I was sharing with her that I had a coworker that was Muslim, and that they started him since he was little. And she stated that at some point in her life, that's like that was a practice that she did. But even when they started him when he was little, they would gradually like take you off food and then give you water. Like, it's literally all a process, because your mind has to also adapt to what's happening. And I feel as though if you start kids at a young age with this, it's gonna be nothing to them. Like, your body still shouldn't go without food, this is not a practice that you do for like months. It's only within a range of time, like maybe you can do it 3 to 4 times a month, or maybe 2 weeks out of the month, right? But you shouldn't do this like on some constant thing. Like, we need food. We need life, like foods that bring life. So T, go ahead, take it away.
Okay,
Just wanted to share that real quick.
We need nutritions, not just food.
Yes, exactly.
People label food as anything, and if it has no nutrients, you're just eating air. You need more than air. But yes, let's get it done. Let's begin. So before we even get to why fasting and intermittent fasting is so good for you, overall, just good for your health, your mental, your soul, your physical body, any other like illnesses you might have. Your body is designed, all right? It's designed to operate in such a way, and the more you try to pump it full of extra medication to lessen the pain, or to trick your body into thinking it's no longer there, in the long run, it's actually more damaging. And that's one of the reasons why, personally, if I ever have like a headache or migraine or anything like that, first thing I do,
drink
am
water.
I dehydrated? I need water.
Yeah.
I need the water. All right, that's one. And two, I actually researched it myself. I believe the more you use aspirin, it tricks your brain into thinking that there's no pain, but it's actually still there. And I believe the side effect is like hemorrhage, and that's one thing you definitely don't want in your life.
I know acetaminophen, and I say it very Spanish because you know who I am. It also burns the lining of your stomach if you have it too much. or if that's like your, and it doesn't necessarily need to be Tylenol. Like a lot of different things have that. So if you
Acetaminophen. Yep.
yeah, if you have it too much, it can damage the lining of your stomach.
And you guys don't want that.
Nope.
More
That's
hospital
more
bills.
problems, right?
More problems. We're trying to fix these problems.
Seriously.
But think about it, guys. Like, honestly, if you have a problem and you're trying to fix it yourself, you're self-reliable. You don't have to depend on big daddy government to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then they no longer have control of you. And if they have no control, what can they really do?
They're left, right? That's a really good point. It's a really good point. And that's why that quote matters.
Well, the quote from earlier matters, correct? Right. So let's get into who dies. Anybody that's looked on the back of a product, you see nutrition label or ingredient list, you've seen some of these food dyes in there. You might not know what they're called. There's many different names, but most of you are familiar. Maybe you haven't looked it up, you haven't done the research. Well, let's go through a few of the common ones. There's three big main common ones, like red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6. But you've probably seen other ones. Blue 1, 3, green 3, red 3, and now there's different names for them. Right, gelatin. You've seen it in other products, and for the most part, people who haven't looked it up, you might think it's just food, food coloring and stuff like that, using cakes or pastries like Pop-Tarts, toasted strudels. Fasten up. Give you a little quick speed run of this stuff. All right, here's what I found. Quick little sticky notes for you. Red 40, other known as Red 40 Lake or FD&C Red number 40. FD&C is Food, Drugs, and Cosmetics. Okay, it's not just Food, Drugs Administration, the FDA, which is like the FCC of food. FCC is like just the people who regulate communication on the radio or TV or media, allowing you to say certain things or not. FDA is Food Drugs Administration. So anything that's banned, I can't even say worldwide because other countries have their own laws towards it. But for some reason, the U.S. allows about 100 ingredients that the rest of the world doesn't allow.
Yeah.
So let's go through this. Red 40, FDC Red 40, FDC Red number 40 aluminum lake, also called that, is linked with ADHD and is made from petroleum. Guys, why are we eating petroleum?
Seriously, bro, that's so messed up.
Now you might think, oh, it's just a little bit of dosage. It's not gonna.
Nah, these things are addictive.
Not only are they addictive, but they're in like everything, bro.
Yeah, that
in everything. So if there's a little bit of dosage here and there and there and there, what do you think the dope boys be doing? You know what I'm saying? Like they're on the corner, give you a little free sample, get you a little, you know what I'm saying, get a little nice little hot, right? And you're like, damn, that shit was good. I gotta come back and get more. And you just keep getting more and more and more. Next thing you know, you're addicted. Next thing you know, you don't even know you're addicted to sodas, chips. And I mean, like, you got to look at the ingredients for the chips. You got to look in the back of those Doritos. You have to look in the back of those Cheetos. Why is there food coloring in stuff that's just supposed to be potatoes, salt, maybe other herbs? That's it. It shouldn't be 25 plus things on the list on a back of a little 3x3 bag of chips. All right. Commonly used in cakes, frosting, pastries, cereals, candies, gums, yogurts, puddings, gelatins, ice creams, popsicles, sports drinks, energy drinks, protein powders, salty snacks, medications, eye creams, toothpaste, mouthwash,
goddamn,
deodorants, What
Yep.
else? I mean, the list goes on and on, guys. Just honestly, just look and see like what is red 40 in. Just type that in and just look for yourself. But the list goes on. You can even go in your cabinet right now and see if you have something that you shouldn't be eating. Look at your peas, canned peas. Look at your vegetables. I already said ice cream. If you guys even have that in the fridge, look at the fruit juices you have. Orange juice, Sunny D. Look at Minute Maid. Look at Capri Sun. Look at any of these things that are packaged already, processed foods, and really consider if you should be eating tetrazine, which is yellow 5, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, these little things add up, and they cause stuff like hyperactivity. I said ADHD, which they changed the name for it in the 90s, to prescribe medication to children to get children addicted on like Ritalin and Adderall to make more money. Because at the end of the day, this is all about money. Hyperactivity, depression, irritability, allergic reactions, hives, asthma, sneezing, watery eyes, skin irritation, migraines, cancer. Now, these are all studies. Don't believe me? Let's just open a little tab real quick. This is for the viewers. If there's viewers, you can just look at the menu I pulled up real quick. For the people who are just listening, I'll do my best to describe what's happening. So, this is published in 2022. But for the most part, man, we already know. We're not supposed to even be drinking Gatorade like that, to be honest. Gatorade has such a small amount. It's a small serving size of liquid, right? Maybe like 16 ounces or 32 or whatever size the bottle is. But the amount of sugar that's in there is twice. All right. You're literally dehydrating yourself more than you think you're doing it for the hydration that the commercial sells you guys on. It's a lot.
Because it lies. It says electrolytes involved. Like, come on, man.
It's a big lie. Like, come on, guys. I'm gonna try my best not to make fun of you guys. Okay, we're not all on journeys, but
we're gonna have grace because we were there too. But once you see the information and once you understand and you take the time to really educate yourself, then that's when you truly can get made fun of, because then you have free will and choice. And at that point, what is it that you're going to choose? You're going to continue to say, oh, well, it's just a little bit, and literally kill yourself slowly, or, I'm cutting it clean.
That's it. And once you cut it, it's really not that hard to live your life, guys. Just water,
feel better.
Tea, coffee. Like, you can still drink stuff. I'm not telling you not to drink stuff. It's alternative to juice. You just get concentrated fruit juice. You can get a juicer and do it yourself if you have the budget and finance to do it. You just got to do the things. Or you can fall victim and now you're diabetic and you're just like, yo, where did it come from? And you don't even have to be overweight to be a diabetic. Like, a little off topic, but on topic. I know of one person who actually found out he was diabetic, but like slim. You know what I'm saying? Not skinny, but a slim thing, not overweight, nothing like that. Anybody can contract diabetes. It's just, what are we consuming? What are we eating every day that's supposed to be nourishing our bodies? Because that's what they tell us. But in actuality, it's destroying us from the inside slowly.
Yeah.
It's a very slow and methodical process.
People constantly say, oh, this person passed away because, this, that, and the third, but they were so healthy. And we need to really understand what the definition of healthy is, because I feel as though if everybody has a different concept, because it's like, oh, I don't eat out, I cook my food at home. Okay, well, did you know that some Goya ingredients have these things? Did you know that carcinogens also can have these things? And not even that, the juices that you're drinking. Like, even if they say organic, if you're not taking the time to really understand that label, you can get fooled so easily. So easily. And, it's sad to hear when I hear some of my friends, some of the people I just meet, customers, whatever, and they talk about someone that passed away, and they use that phrase, but they're so uneducated to the portion of, you know just because you may be doing it like that, okay, yeah, you're saving yourself from other diseases, but that doesn't mean it necessarily won't trigger like your liver, right, or like your kidneys, or inflammation, right? Like, all these things go into what can possibly cause that person to pass away. uh and when they look at it, it's already too late. It all has spread, right? Like, it's just it's an end all be all. But we need to really start understanding what healthy means, and how can you keep yourself in that what is it called, what in that category, essentially. Because we can all die from something, right? Like, it could be anything, right? Like, as much as we would like to take care of ourselves, but the more that we're aware of what everything is, and the more we take the time to educate ourselves, we can prevent those things, and back then they didn't have this. They couldn't just go on the internet and look those things up. And even if they could, again, free will, but I just
Well,
wanted to mention that because I feel as though people are so quick to just disregard all of this, because they may be eating salads every day. But we just found out right now, even salad
even
dressings,
salad dressing.
so you really have to take the time.
Yeah. I was gonna say some of the alternatives, like if you wanted to get the taste or the color that a lot of people go for with some of these foods, you can use stuff like beet juice, beet powder,
Mm-hmm.
blueberry juice, pomegranate juice, cranberries, cherries, strawberries, and some herbs like dried hibiscus flowers. You know, like even when we make the hormone balance and stuff, electric tea in the kitchen, you just get a couple herbs, and then that hibiscus turns is like purple, blue, or
Yeah,
like this
turns like a pink.
pink.
Even the butterfly pea, that's another
Mhm,
tea that can turn it blue,
mhm.
and give you that food coloring. And herbs are really helpful.
So helpful and healthy compared
Mm-hmm.
to they're just taking chemicals and compounds and adding it to stuff
Yeah,
like
science.
science, man-made stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Chemistry,
go through
sorry.
chemistry. Science is chemistry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Let's go through more of this list here. So you get some of these flavors, right? And another thing, because like I said before, the U.S. allows like 100 ingredients that other countries don't. Specifically, like Europe, UK over there, Austria, and Norway. It's still Europe,
Yeah.
but they have different branded products. For instance, we can have like a Frosted Flakes over here that has a whole bunch of garbage in it, but they can also have Frosted Flakes over there that has
Less.
cornflakes, the even less sugar, none of the dyes, none of the extra ingredients, just straight up like wheat flour.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you question and wonder, why is this in our food? Why is it really in our food? What about some Little Debbie Twist cake rolls? I've never had these, but
Yo,
we can also say
you ever
Twinkies.
had those?
I've had a couple Little Debbies, but I'm
Yo,
not.
those are, oh my god. This is why I say that. When we use the phrase, "Oh, that's crack." Nah, yeah, that's
That's correct.
crack.
I
It
say
would
that
kill
when I
you,
was eating
bro.
Snickers. I'm the same with Snickers.
Yo, my
I had to stop.
god.
Had so many cavities. I had to stop.
I know. Same. I think that's why. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, yo, my stomach problems were all
It
of this.
does. This does cause stomach problems, indigestion,
Mm-hmm.
a whole list of stuff. Just if you just stop eating it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, your body just like resets. Now you're gonna go through the literally, like, we're addicts. Our body has to reset, and we like have hot flashes. We feel like shit. Or we're cramping up,
Yeah.
and then eventually it's like, you know what? This is not bad. My skin looks clear. My smile's good. I'm happy. I don't let things bother me as much. Like,
Feel more in tune.
more in tune, and then it just rubs off on other people. You know what I'm saying? Just it's crazy. And I could avoid things like this.
Right. And mind you, here even says some studies have shown yellow 5-dye damages white blood cells.
Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You need white blood cells to attack bacteria and infections.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all okay. I want the audience to know that this isn't like 20 years new, 30 years new.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, these red dyes have been used since, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was red 3 before red 40. Same thing, same side effects, same issues, whatever. They were using red 3 since like the 16th century. So this is not new. No new news.
New information, right? Mm-hmm. And even the other article you were reading from, it's like they've been published since like 1978, 73, like the 70s.
Right. Exactly. Super recent.
Published.
And they're gonna keep telling you, after all this, but there's still no definitive statistic that says that this is a link to a tumor. There's no definitive research out there. There's nothing out there that says that it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll show you something else that says, yeah, we did 15 studies back in the 90s with some rats to find out that if you feed a high dose amount to anything, animals, people, yeah, there's some brain tumors they're formed, but nah, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't affect us in small dosages. What about Frosted Flakes? This is one of my favorite cereals.
Damn, that was your favorite? Flakes. Yeah, that one was good.
Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks. What else? Fruit Loops. Anything that's like weirdly colored, brightly colored. It's all bad, bro. It's all bad. These General Mills, major company. How long has it been? Hold on, let me see the stream. 30 something. Dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. I didn't want to curse in the first like 5 minutes. Let's look at Skittles. Okay. Anything brightly colored stuff. Dog shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I was just researching that because I just saw the Skittles and they were trying to ban it last year. They were trying to pass a bill in California to ban it. I don't know if it has completely gone through. I don't think so. But
no.
So they still sell it.
They do. It says in Europe countries they still carry a warning label. We don't have a warning label on our stuff.
Damn.
We don't. Like, nothing says in the back, hey, this is the carcinogen, don't do that. Except unless it's cigarettes.
Right, or tobacco. Anything with tobacco, right? And
anything with tobacco, they'll be like, yeah, it's a carcinogen, don't do it. But food, nah, you're good.
Make sure how to get you.
You break your fast, right? AKA breakfast, with a nice bowl of such and such cereal,
bro. Oh, just thinking about that right now. Oh my god, makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah, it's true, and they're gonna get.
Okay, so it was passed. This was an article.
Okay. When?
From October 11th, 2023. But it still says that they're not being specific about.
Oh shit.
This just was an article on October 11, 2023, saying that's the question on Californians' mind after a bill was recently passed in the state that aims to change some of the ingredients found in America's most popular candies and snacks. These 4 ingredients are brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, red dye number 3.
Bromine. Yep, right here. We were just looking at it. It's in Gatorade.
Yeah.
BVO, brominated vegetable oil. It's an emulsifier. Okay. People don't want to get the dictionary. So easy to look this up.
Yeah, it was passed around October. I mean, sorry.
Emulsifier, long story short, it's in foods. It's any numerous chemical additives that encourage the suspension of one liquid in another. So basically, like you mix oil and water and they never touch.
Right.
So the thing that separates them is an emulsifier. So like in salad dressing, there would be an emulsifier. Stuff for baking, like shortening or margarine, butter, whatever. It's an emulsifier. And also ice cream. These mostly come from algae, which is something I'm learning right now. I'm not too sure. I know seaweed is good for you and stuff like that, but algae, this is a whole different topic, but it's part of it as well.
What?
Algae can provide more of the essential amino acids that the soybean provides. It also has the potential to reduce the amount of land we use to grow protein. So technically, according to the BBC, as much as I don't want to rock with the BBC, if algae can give us more essential aminos than soybeans, why are we using soy in a lot of our products?
Yeah, I am seeing that right now too.
And soy is linked to an increased amount of estrogen, by the way, which is probably the cause of our testosterone issues that's been happening over the course of a decade. It's been like 50 years. Men's testosterone has been dropping significantly. If we look at old photos, like people's dads and grandfathers were men. They all look like Kratos, like they were men. Yeah. Nowadays, and it sucks to say it, but like I got a baby face, bro, and I'm 30. Like,
yeah.
But it just could. I don't. It's hard to explain what it can just feel like. But you have to take supplements to fight this chemical warfare. If you guys haven't caught on by now, this is a chemical warfare. All right.
Yeah.
We had World War II. Okay. We had the Vietnam War. We had the wars in between. Iraq War, Korean War, which isn't even about us, and other skirmishes here and there. All right. War isn't just physical. Okay. There are literally attacking civilians on an everyday basis. It's up for you guys to decide that. I'm good off the fluoride.
Same. And it's a chemical war. It's also a mental war. Where it's a war on you versus you, because in reality, you got to take the time to. I shouldn't even say you versus you. I want to use this instead. It's a war of also information. Like, you need to know your information nowadays in order to truly understand where this is all coming from, because it's been years. You know, everything ties together at the end when you start researching. I used to tell T this all the time, like, where do I start? You can start anywhere. Literally, they all tie into each other. Whether you start with spirituality, whether you start with fasting, whether you start with food dyes, whether you start with our fluoride, right? Our water consumption, like what's in our water, carcinogens, wherever you start, as long as you're seeking out for the truth and you're seeking out information, it will come to you. It will all re-enter itself into like one whole thing. Like, everything is tied together. So no matter where you start, start somewhere. Whether you start with fitness, like what I just said.
Yeah, who told you that?
Top of my dome. My peers did, you heard? T&D,
I'm about to say, I definitely remember.
T&D.
And it's true,
Nah,
bro.
but
You
yeah.
start anywhere. This goes for anything, guys. It starts anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this before, like on your foundation. For me, it was fitness.
Yeah, same. I
It
mean,
was fitness.
yeah. I feel like my foundation was fitness and spirituality, because there is a point in my life that it was very dark for me and I did not see the light. I did not see the light. And I had to go back to spirituality. And when I started it there, I feel like that's when we started to talk about that, and you were also on a journey. And that's why it's so important to learn and hear out other people, um because maybe you're not on the same part of the journey, right? But maybe what they share with you can help you throughout your journey. And I started sharing, like, with T and Diamond, what I was going through and all this stuff. And it was until I started reading, like, the Law of Attraction, The Alchemist. I started there, but that led me here. And continuing the same conversation with them and picking their brain and, like, yo, what part of your journey are you on? Like, what have you learned? It just tied it together. So that's why it's so important for us to, especially in times like this, you know
Times like this, a rhyme like this, and a matter.
right, period. Dream chasers, you heard? Chase your damn dreams. um but not, yeah, go ahead, hit them with the mac and cheese though.
And with the mac and cheese. Let me change that song real quick. I hit it with the mac and cheese. Boom. I mean, it's simple. This food dies, guys. How are they getting? Is that really cheese? Is that really cheese? It just is
I
original
can just
flavor
sit there
about these
for
products.
days.
First of all, it's hard to trust just powdered cheese. Okay, it takes a process to get processed products. When you have stuff that is fresh, not only does it taste completely different, it's healthier. Like, I'm not gonna suggest
Mm-hmm.
you guys stop eating cheese or stop eating dairy or anything like that, because that is a whole other episode, to
Conversation.
be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That one goes deep.
like that one goes deep too, because some of these quote unquote vegan products, are they vegan? Like
Oh my
Impossible
god.
Burger or Beyond Meat. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Hit it ass. It
Nah,
causes
yo, the
more
other day
cancer.
the other day I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and that mall is kosher. So everything was like veggie bacon and stuff like that. So I thought that he was giving me the option to choose the bacon. So I'm like, oh yeah, that bacon or whatever, right? And when I get it, I'm about to bite into it. So they made this new wrap, like it's like pancake with egg and cheese, right? And I barely have Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I literally was just like, I have no food today. I have to go do it, right?
Yep.
So I go and I order this, and I'm like, okay, that seems okay. Um, I open it, and never again, bro. That veggie bacon was pink. It was pink. It looked fake as hell. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm not eating this. I didn't eat it. Any of it. And I say that to say this. There's gonna be moments in our life where we're in situations where it's like, oh damn, all right, I have to have, like, I don't know. Let's say you're driving 12 hours, right? You may not have food on you or anything like that. Maybe you have to do a pit stop and get something, but you can always choose what you want to eat. And you can always choose a better choice, right? Even if you are in that circumstance, but you can't do that all the time. Like, this cannot be something you consume literally all the time, because that's how you set yourself up for failure. And even with me, when I go somewhere and I have to choose, like, I try to choose as wisely as I can, with the information that I know. But
Yeah, a lot of the chemicals end up tasting like cardboard.
mm,
But we think it tastes good. Like for this example, again,
I mean, it
sodas.
also alters your brain.
It does. Alters your brain, alters your taste bud. You know the amount of food that we eat today that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was like, what the? Get this eggplant lasagna? Get this thing away from me, bro.
Yeah. No meat?
No
Substitute meat?
meat?
What that
Please,
mean?
please.
What that is? What that is?
What that is? But ever since, we changed the diet, but it's been like distant years. I haven't had a breakout like anywhere. No acne like that. Nothing on my back like I used to. And I think I was mostly from the protein shakes. Like I had a lot of mass gainers, muscle shakes, the Golden Standard. Man, you name it, it's in there. You just gotta look at the ingredients, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was a big Mountain Dew fan. This is what I'm showing on the screen, guys. People who are listening. Mountain Dew, they get their literal colorings from food colorings. And look, there's also BVO in it. We talked about it earlier. Pop-Tarts, like I said before.
Yeah. So sad. It's so sad.
Even in bread.
Yo, bread. There's this meme on Instagram that it's this guy, he's about to go cook, right? And then he just hears it's like a cloud, and it's like, you can't have whole wheat bread. It's not good for you. And then he puts it away. And then he tries to have a regular bread. They're like, no, it's worse. And it's like, yeah. Honestly, one of the best substitutes for bread is sourdough bread. Or making your own loaf. So
yeah, there's a few out there that are really good. Like, I mean, Dave's bread's pretty good too. Dave's Killer Bread. Anything that has,
Dave's Killer Bread is really good. That has really a lot of good protein.
I think it's barley, grains. There's a specific name for the bread, but
Ezekiel.
That is Ezekiel bread. Yep, that's up there.
Ezekiel bread is also like, trying to get off of it.
Yeah.
All the meats.
You already know. I mean, this is another thing. I don't know if people actually realize this. To get their coloring for the meats to be like this, they pump it with chemicals.
Yeah, I just actually learned that last year. I didn't, and it was from a farmer talking about it, and he stated how meat doesn't even, when you cut meat, it doesn't even look like that. It's supposed to look darker.
Yeah,
that's how you know you have real meat.
Yeah, it's dark, definitely darker, not this like light pink. What's going on here?
You know how United States is. It's all about aesthetics, baby. They gotta catch the eye first.
That's how they sell them in commercials. They catch the eye.
Crazy.
But, for the general part, you guys just need to take this in consideration when you're buying stuff, who you're supporting. Some of these companies really don't care about you. I mean, I don't think this country really cares about you to that extent. It's all down to like an individual basis. People who are writing these laws, people who are in position. It's all individual basis. Because I'm not going to say everybody's bad. Not everybody's bad. Just be ignorant, People are making decisions based off of what they know. And again, thanks to the internet, we can know so much more, so much quicker.
Yeah. The thing is also that part that nowadays you have to choose where you're going to put your energy, because there's people out there that know this information and still decide what they decide, and there's people out there that know this information and still decide to do better. And I posted up a post today, I'm pretty sure it was, stating that I'm in a phase of my life where I just want people that are going to keep growing, gonna want to be self-aware and unbind trauma, and just know being depressed, having trauma, having things you haven't dealt with emotionally can cause you to go into these things even more and be addicted to these things, you know. I want to thank T for taking the moment and time to talk about all of this, because he had the platform for that. And you know, I'm going to talk about fasting, but this is why fasting goes hand in hand with this, because once you start fasting, once you start letting your body literally detach of all those toxins, you get to now control yourself and have discipline towards what you're eating and what you're going to put in your body. Like for me, I needed to do it because I was getting addicted to food. And you know, it wasn't just regular food, it was just going out, and it was just easier. And then at the same time, it was a comfort, you know. And even if it was food at home, it was me constantly getting high and just eating right all the time, when I had to really pause and reflect and think to myself, this is not making me feel good. This is not even helping my goals in terms of my fitness life, you know. And I've been in different spaces in my life where I've seen me go into a better diet and also work out be healthier for me. And I've also seen myself when I was a kid not do that, right? And now I see myself now as an adult with a balance of both and understanding everything, and then still choosing, oh, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna eat out like maybe 2 times this week because I just want to, and I'm sad right now and I want to order food, you know? And I noticed that I needed to stop when it was that. And I reflected on that, and I'm like, nah. So it wasn't like I was starving my body, because fasting is not starving your body, but I don't like to put it that way, because that's not, starving is very different, right? Like starving is kids that really can't have food. This is more of a discipline matter of you taking the time to detach from those addictions, right? Just like you may have an addiction to nicotine. At some point, you are going to have to either choose to detach or kill yourself over it, you know? And I don't want to kill myself over food, because that's not what I want to do. And that's not how I want to live my life. I want to feel good. I want to be able to work out and feel better, have the right things, nutrients, all those things, feed my body what it needs. And with this information that allows me to do that. And you know, fasting is not easy, but the minute that I did it and I saw it, I've been fasting all day today, you know? And I'm gonna go eat at some point because I have to. I have to go to class later and actually utilize that energy. But, you know, I don't necessarily feel like I need food. And you may think that sounds wild. And it is. It's crazy, because you then push yourself to the extremes of like, what can my body do? What can my body take? And you know, I had to push myself to those extremes because it was not feeling good for me, you know. Any thoughts, T?
About the food? I mean,
About fat? Yeah, that. And
I also just, before we even started this, I had a couple bites of my food, but I didn't finish. I literally didn't finish. I literally just took 2-3 bites. But it's really a mental thing, guys. Once you understand that food is meant for nourishment and not just comfort or how it tastes, or I need to eat the food pyramid. I need this meal at this time, and then this meal at this time, and then this meal at this time, 3 times a day, this many portions. I need to have meat, dairy, carbs, every meal. Bro, it's not true. It's not true at all. Especially when you look, you get my words together. This goes hand in hand with the rise of obesity and other health problems right after the 60s, when things started becoming more comforting. Like they invented, this is back in the 50s actually, excuse me, like microwave ready dinners, or TV dinners as they used to call them. Things are being autonomized or replaced, like washers, dryers, vacuums. Things are just being replaced, and people started becoming more sedimentary, excuse me again. which just means we're just sitting down on our ass for longer. So what else are people going to do besides eat, watch TV, bust it down? Like, it's when people have nothing else to do, we usually just refer to like comfort.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But that doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Right.
Okay, guys, it doesn't mean it's a good thing at all. I guarantee you can look at all these old photos. Being heavy set and overweight was a sign of like you have money, you have wealth, you have enough time to eat that much and pretty much be a glutton, because that's a sin. People are forgetting a lot of these things because it's like society doesn't care about having too much greed, whether it's money or possessions or like lust, envy. It's like people are just forgetting that these things exist every single day. And again, I mean, we were young, you know what I'm saying? Like unless someone tells us or you really sit there and think about things like this, you're just gonna follow the crowd. It's not until you decide to pick your head up, in the wave of people with their heads down. So you decide to pick your head up and go, you know what, this doesn't look right. This doesn't seem right.
Some people have to go through life crisis and life scares to then say, okay, I'm going to turn it around. Some people don't. Some people die because of it. And as harsh as it is, as harsh as that sounds, that's what it is. Yep. So it's really all a choice. And we bring this information to the audience, and this is something that and just a stating like microwavable, like there's so many different lanes to this. We're just getting started, baby. Like we're just getting started.
The microwave is not even good for you. I don't know why. Again, let's break it down. Okay, boom, quick little lesson. Microwaves are just shooting radiation at your whatever you put in the microwave. Now you have to put your food on a certain object that can be heated but not be affected by radiation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So radiation is simply just exactly what it sounds like. You're heating up the molecules and particles of whatever it is you put in there. Okay. So if you cook stuff in like plastic bowls, plastic plates, we've all been there. You put it in the microwave too long, the plate folds or whatever. The chemicals leave the plate and seeps into your food. So in the long run, you're literally just eating plastics. You guys don't believe me? Look up microplastics. And why is it such a big concern? And why do majority of people have microplastics in their diet right now? They've done studies on this. It's damn near, and that's the major problem in the oceans. That's why you find microplastics in a lot of fish.
Mm-hmm. That's why fish is not always the good go-to.
These things used to be healthy. You used to be able to just go out and just fish and scale the fish and cook it and be good. Nowadays, you really gotta observe and know how you're getting your food, where it's coming from. And this is why farmers market are so essential. As much as supermarkets are trying to push them out and like get rid of them, the process of which farmers markets gets their products, it's crucial. Guys, you need to support your local farmers.
Please do.
They need the help. They need every single help. Plus, it's fresh food. It costs a couple more dollars. Like, you're gonna blow it anyway. Come on. At least be healthy about it.
Seriously. All right. So real quick, just wanted to touch. For the ones that can see, you can read it. May want to zoom in, whatever it is. For the listeners, I'm going to read it out. But we're going to talk about the benefits of fasting. So fasting has helped many people reach their health goals and improve their overall lifestyle. So let's get it. Fasting promotes blood sugar control by decreasing insulin resistance, which means your body is more effective at transporting glucose from your bloodstream to your cells. Fasting improves blood sugar control. This benefit is more clearly found in short-term intermittent fasting, for example, abstaining from food for 18 hours a day and eating in the 6-hour window. Fasting fights inflammation. As we've talked about before, inflammation is a side effect of consuming too many acidic forming foods, toxins, or by being around toxic environment. Inflammation is also involved in the development of chronic conditions such as heart disease, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid. Damn it! We literally just went over this word.
You got it.
Sorry, guys. My English is not very well. Not very well.
No hablo inglés.
Rheumatoid. No hablo inglés. Hablo español.
Inglés. Yeah, sí.
Rheumatoid arthritis. By fasting for only 12 hours a day, it is possible to reduce inflammation, which aids in treating the diseases mentioned above. Fasting enhances heart health. Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death around the world. By making lifestyle changes such as following Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide and incorporating fasting into your routine, it is possible to decrease high blood pressure. How do you say that word? Let me highlight it for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Triglycerides.
And cholesterol, all of which can lead to heart disease. Fasting boosts brain function. Fasting does good things for the brain, and this is evident by all of the beneficial neurochemical changes that happen in the brain when we fast. It also improves cognitive function, increases neurotrophic factors and stress resistance, and reduces inflammation. You can boost the brain benefits of fasting by consuming banju while you fast, which is basically one of Dr. Sebi's herbs. So yeah, just to kind of give and this is from his actual website. Who now runs it, which is what he left behind. But yeah, just to touch upon that a little bit and bring it back to what he's saying. You see how I spoke about inflammation creating glucose, because your body creates glucose, right? And that way you're getting everything from the life of it, not something made. Words are so hard. Made by man. And it just cleanses you. It literally cleanses you from all of these different things, and even me just literally fasting for 3 days and not eating actual foods and doing that I did it for 4 days, and I did that for 2 weeks straight. I noticed the difference when I would eat in the weekend and I would have like steak or just eat rice, right? Like I would notice how that would automatically change when I would fast. Like I would just not feel mucus. And Dr. Sebi stands very strong on believing that the number one disease is mucus, because that's what all of this thing brings. Why do you think after we eat, we constantly feel like we got to spit something out when we get sick, right? When we get really sick, there's a lot of mucus. Mucus can come from your nose, it could come in the bones, it could come in your bloodstreams, it could come in your lungs. Like there's so many different ways that mucus can show up. And the one thing that I was so happy of is that I wasn't constantly feeling like I had to spit. And that was because, I was fasting and all of that just got cleansed for me. But not only that, I fast a little different. I like to do juices. Because this is also new to me. We intermittent fast in the household. Like he can tell you, we don't eat sometimes until like 12, right? We have a window where we eat. And sometimes we may not just eat all day and then just have one meal, right? But you have to go do this research, because a lot of things will tell you like, oh yeah, you have to do this and this and that to get bulky and to lose weight and blah 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 blah. And in terms of the fitness world, exercising, yes, that's correct, but you don't have to constantly eat all the time. Like even before we even encounter this information, I was eating 3 times a day. Before that, it was 4 times a day, every 3 hours. Sometimes I wasn't even hungry, but I just ate, and it's that you have to let your body get hungry. You have to feel that. I think sometimes we're so like into like this thought process of, oh, I'm hungry. No, you're just saying that. because you think you're hungry. You're not actually hungry. Can you go right now maybe 2 hours without food? Yeah, you'll be fine. Now you got to make sure you drink your water because
I'm about to
headaches do
say,
happen,
you probably
things like.
just need some water.
Yeah, exactly. But even for my mom, she's a snacker. Like she loves sweets, she loves candy, all these different things. And sometimes she'll just be sitting there bored, and she'll be like, "Oh, it's like they call it in Spanish. It's like, oh, I have like and basically means like, oh, I'm bored. I need to eat something, right? And it's like, no,
That's that.
you
What
don't.
did I say? When people are sedentary and you're sitting there, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, get bored and want food. Like we're literally sitting on our butts, not doing anything, and then all of a sudden you're just. But then also too is the side effects from all of this. Like
Yeah.
as you grow older, if you don't let go, it's gonna continue, and that's why fasting is so important. Take a moment to go on Dr. Sebi's page and learn about him. But he's known for his herbal wisdom, right? And even here it says Dr. Sebi studied herbs in Africa, the Caribbean, North America, and Central and South America. In Mexico, he met an herbalist who elevated all of his health complaints and explained to him that being from Africa, he should follow an original African diet. Inspired by the mighty healing potential of herbs, Dr. Sebi went to create natural vegetation cell food compounds that clean and replenish the body, the first prototypes of Dr. Sebi's cell food. So he's also known, we drink his teas, like what T said earlier, the electric tea and the hormone balance tea, it's all from this man. Now how do you get your herbs and all that other stuff? That's for another day. We'll definitely touch base on that. We'll probably bring D because she's very passionate about that too. But yeah, and I just want to show one more video.
I'm gonna be honest with you, fasting is the cure for everything. When your body don't have nothing to eat, it's gonna eat all your bad cells up because it go into fight or flight. And when it eats your bad cells, your body release hydrogen, and we breathe in oxygen.
Sure.
So I be wondering, like, damn, I done went all day without eating and drinking, but I'm still pissing. Like, why am I pissing?
Yeah.
We create our own water.
When's the fast? Is it the sun's up to down?
That's what most people do, from sun up to sun down. But I like to do it to where when I break my fast, it's just with liquids. I like that liquid diet.
That's hard. So what's the longest you fast for?
Like no food, just water, liquids.
Yep.
Like 42 days. I did about 3 of them.
42 days?
Just say this, when you fast, things really, you're not delusional when you fasting. Things really get weird because you're not seeing you seeing beyond the physical realm. You seeing into the spiritual realm.
He's right. You get more in tune with yourself. Why can't I go back?
It's not even just yourself. You start seeing the people around you.
And their choices, and start thinking to yourself, do I want that? And Dr. Sebi helped Left Eye. He helped who else did he help? Teddy Pendergrass, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, John Travolta, famous people, but it's not about that. I'm just naming these names because I want you to wake up and understand that, don't be oblivious to this. This is not just something that just came out of nowhere. This man was doing a lot of work, and his work continues to spread amongst other doctors. And there's this other doctor that I listened to that he was the one who actually helped me know how to go into that type of fasting, which is not eating and not drinking foods, and not eating foods and just drinking water. And that's how I started. I did 2 days with juicing and then 1 day without any food, just water. And
Bro.
it does something,
bro. The last time I did it, first of all, I wasn't even like,
oh yeah,
I wasn't mentally even prepared or even trying to do it. I just did it because I was feeling like I was sick. But it was right after Thanksgiving. We be eating a lot. And I was feeling heavy and sluggish, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I won't eat today. and then that kind of just seeped into the next day. Even when I had dinner, I took a couple of bites, and I'm like, meh, not really too hungry. But then, because I think I didn't have enough water that I should have, my stomach was definitely eating itself. Like, I felt it cramping up like every 20, 30 minutes. And the amount of work that I was doing at the time, I slowed down so much. I wasn't trying to do anything.
Yeah,
But
because at
then
that point, your body needs a reset. And like literally just stay still.
and stays to unrest. And the next day I was like, you know what? I feel pretty good. I still had no food, but like,
it was good. Yeah.
But no, it's a crazy journey because you're pretty much going against what you've been told your entire life. Like,
And the more you research, the more you find out.
The more you research, the more you find out, and then the more you find out, it's like, damn, what else?
What else they lying
about? What else they lying about? And then it's like, oh damn, sure, maybe them tinfoil hat people aren't that crazy.
That's literally it, tinfoil hat. So this is the documentary on Dr.Sebi. It's 40 minutes long, but I'm just gonna show a quick clip on it.
Dr. Sebi was born Alfredo Bowman in a village in Spanish Honduras. He never had any formal schooling. He was self-educated. After coming to the United States, he was diagnosed with asthma, diabetes, impotency, and obesity. After unsuccessful treatments with conventional doctors and traditional Western medicine, Sebi was led to an herbalist in Mexico.
So he told me that I could not eat meat any longer, no lamb. I could not drink any milk. And I abstained from all these things, and here I am now at 82. I'm happier than I've ever been in my life.
After being healed from his conditions, he began studying and cataloging herbs around the world. As a result, he created natural vegetation cell food compounds that he claimed would cure people from diseases like herpes and AIDS.
The first patient was a brother in Boston named Michael White. I said, well, I must send him the compound. I removed from the man's diet lactose, uric acid, and carbonic acid, milk, starches, and meat. By removing these things from his diet and then cleansing his cells, he began to see recovery in 24 hours.
But did they get the message though?
Right, that's the bigger part. But yeah, I just wanted to show that video so it can tie into, everything that we stated on today's episode, and we spoke about directed to Dr. Sebi. But yeah, it's real, and we're gonna continue this conversation. It does not stop. It's just there's so many different lanes, so many different things that come hand in hand together that we gotta figure out how to bring to the table and not overwhelm the audience. But overall, pretty basic stuff.
Man, about to overwhelm everybody. Crazy. All they gotta do is press pause. Press pause. Go look at it. Then come back.
They're gonna be like, bruh.
I had no idea. Like, didn't you tell me there was somebody who, one of your coworkers who saw episode 1, was like, "Damn, I learned that in that class too, but I didn't think about it."
Yeah, they didn't think about it. Yep, I don't remember exactly who it was right now, but yeah, that was definitely a conversation, and I was like, "Yep, it's been around, man. It's been around." Well, thank you all for coming, for listening, for staying.
This is the goodbye. What are you talking about?
I was gonna cop this, but we could keep this conversation. It's all good. It's part of the authenticity of it, you know?
It is.
The originality.
It is. It's for the audience. People
You
who
know?
stayed or just wanted the end, whatever.
Right,
I don't know why you would want just the end, but you're a weirdo.
Right.
We're all weirdos.
You don't watch the whole damn thing, boy.
Damn. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. I don't know what the next episode is going to be, but we never even know. We're going to figure that out.
Right.
And
Stay on your
we're gonna
toes. Keep you on your
Stay on
toes.
your toes. Stay tuned and stay in tune.
Yeah, we'll be back 2 weeks from now. So, you know, every 2 weeks we'll be dropping an episode. You know, the goal this year is to stay consistent and continue to provide this information. So I'm just super excited that, you know, I'm going to actually drop this on our first year. High Consciousness has made a year already. Baby episodes, but we keeping it going. And, you know, everything that you do in this life has its target audience. So we're just trying to reach our target audience. So again, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. Follow, like, subscribe, and you know the vibes.